It is another night in the jungle. It is another night in the trenches. It is another night that you, our valued audience, fan base, spectators, spend your evening, your Monday night with me. Welcome to the beginning of your week. How was your Monday? I hope it was fine and dandy like sugar candy. It is September 20th, 2021. I am James. You are you. We are here for another breathtaking edition of the show that will not ever go away. Episode 291 of At Home with James. And this is going to be a doozy. This needs to be a doozy, not only for you, but for me, your fearless leader of this show. I'm going to tell you why. Past couple nights, I've been waking up at 5 a.m. with some of the worst indigestion that I've ever felt in my life. But beyond that, I wake up tossing and turning, kicking the sheets and the blankets off of my dainty little slight body. I'm just sweating profusely. And I'm thinking to myself as I stare up to the sky, is this the night that the Lord takes me? Is this the night that the Lord extends his arms and grabs me in his holy grip, takes me up into the heavens, only to look at me eye to eye, laugh, and then drop me as I fall down, sprinkling past the earth into hell, destined for an eternity of brimstone and fire and more indigestion and sweatiness. I have been going through a real cocktail of medicines, Tums, Rolaids, mint tea, hot baths. Anyone who watches this show knows that I have no reverence for being in a bath, unless it's a hot tub. Not the same thing, because my bathtub certainly doesn't have any jets. I don't want to look at my nudity in the bath, let alone look at my nudity in the bath while my stomach is curdling. Before this show, I went to a Pharmaprix, and I don't like to give plugs for free on this show. Could you imagine a scenario in which Pharmaprix becomes a sponsor of the at-home program? And I bought a $10 bottle of the extra strength knockoff Pepto-Bismol. I was with Vance Gillis. That's a guy happy to give a shout out to. This guy shaved his own head. He's had enough. He's at the point where he's shaving his own head. Still looks handsome. He said, just buy the knockoff kind. You're going to be fine. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to brush my teeth. I'm going to apply my ringworm cream. And I'm going to take a nice shot of Pepto-Bismol before bed. I might even throw a couple cubes in there. Give it to me on the rocks. And I need for this show to be the antidote. I need for it to cure what ails me tonight on this 291st episode. Now, if you were tuned in on Instagram, which very few of you are, this Instagram account for the show sucks. This thing sucks, man. There's like 100-something followers. I don't even remember the last time I posted anything on the feed. All I do is post the episode previews in the story. Look, I'm terrible at promoting my own show. I posted on my Facebook. What am I supposed to do anymore? Everyone knows it's happening. You either want to watch it or you don't. So does it matter that the Instagram sucks? It must. I'm complaining about it. Tonight, I posted about a couple things going on in the program. Of course, we've got a cavalcade of guests, but I have a programming announcement that I'm going to present to you much later on. I also intend on previewing the Halloween season. Now, I'm sure that some of you are out there, the dozens who might remember this little detail from 2020, thinking to yourself, well, James, I thought that you didn't like Halloween. I thought that maybe you'd be interested in doing more Christmas programming. Halloween? For real? That's right. Just like last year, I'm looking to embrace the spooky season, as the cool kids tend to call it. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to preview the Halloween season with the resident expert of Halloween on this show, aka the person who doesn't ever really like being here all that much. Tonight, though, didn't have to twist the arm too much because I said the magic word Halloween. Jess Fildes is here to detail some potential new Halloween activities. Also joining us in just a matter of moments is someone who comes to us from Scandinavia, all the way from Sweden. It is the return of one of the most unique, interesting, really mysterious guests in the history of this show. Maybe the only guest who's capable of making me feel truly uncomfortable in my own home. We have got a complicated relationship in the sense that this person thinks that we have one and I don't. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Why wait? They ask. The answer is we no longer need to. Please welcome back to the show after an extended vacation, coming to us, as mentioned, from Sweden, it's Jaudaurgh. Hi there, Jaudaurgh. How are you?
Hello, James. I just needed to clean a bit my keyboard. It's like has a bit of dust and things.
Oh, you got some dust on your keyboard. Am I to understand you have been using your computer as much lately, Jaudaurgh?
No, I've been more in the books, more spending time in the nature and looking at paintings, mostly really cryptic, kind of Gothic paintings. But yes,
Oh,
that's like a lot has changed for me. So I know that you think maybe I just go away and I just stay the same, but actually I'm quite a dynamic person and I change a lot. So in the time that you've known me, I was really a lost individual. I was trying to figure myself out and making underwear, but now I look back on it, I think I was a bit crazy to think that that was a way to be in the world. Now I found some things new that I'd like to share with you if you're interested in learning the good news.
yes, I would say that I am interested in learning the good news. Before we do that, am I to understand you no longer sell your homemade underpants anymore?
No, I don't really want to talk about it too much. I had to burn them and it was a long process and I cried.
Wait, hold on. You burned the underwear? I don't mean to press you, right? You mentioned, I apologize. I have no intention of making you emotional. It's just you can understand, Jaudaurgh, that's very interesting that someone would abandon a business, but also burn off a bunch of underwear, literally.
Look, truly, it wasn't a business, it was a mistake.
Oh.
So when someone goes down a path that they think is right for a long time and they make choices like putting their bodies out and letting people see that.
So just one final question in regards to that. Am I to understand as well that your website is no longer active?
The website's still active because it has so many hits that I wasn't allowed to shut it down. Yes, I don't know if you've ever received this, but Chrome sent me an email saying, don't shut it, just keep it. We'll see what can we do to make you happy about it.
Chrome sent you that email?
It was quite nice to hear that because I lost faith with myself. And
okay.
Yes. So yes, and then I got the email from Facebook saying, no, leave it. Instagram tell me, no, we like it, please keep it. So
it sounds like various websites and social media platforms are pleading with you to keep your website active. And I guess in order to keep it active, people need to visit it. What's the URL for that website again?
No, you want me to say it again because you think it's so ridiculous, but
no, I don't think that. I think that if it's a successful website, you should probably promote it.
Because when I say it, a lot of times it sounds like I'm not a serious person, but it says it's Jaudaurgh speciallady.com.
All right, so it sounds like there's been an adjustment in the URL, but can I tell you that I also think that you are a very special lady?
Look, it's because I'm uncomfortable because of how things are ever since our date, and I'm trying not to be giggly and laughing because really truly in my heart it's like, you know, when you pour like a soda water into a cup and shake it, it's like that.
It's like when you pour a soda water into a cup and shake it. That's your and I dynamic.
That's how I feel.
Okay.
Don't go judging me for how I feel.
I'm not judging you. I just think that at times there's maybe a cultural difference in the way that we communicate with each other. You're very open, you're very stern lady, and I tend to be a little bit more bombastic and maybe a little silly, and it comes off as sarcastic. So I just want to say that before we really get into it tonight.
But I mean, you know what? For a Canadian, you have a lot of self-awareness.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you.
It's good.
Well, I would say that, you don't have to feel the need to stifle your giggling. We're here to have fun tonight, right? Wouldn't it be fun to have fun?
It'd be nice.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that smile. That's great. Well, now you mentioned, there you go. Now you mentioned that you've got some new ventures. Look, isn't it fun to laugh so much that you end up spitting and get a little snotty, right?
I'm embarrassed.
You don't be embarrassed, Yoda. It's fine. Look, it's fine.
I was holding it in so much that I forgot what truly matters to me.
Yeah, well, I noticed that you're wearing a piece of jewelry tonight. I noticed that you're caressing a cross.
Do you know what the cross means?
Well, something religious, I would imagine. It's what Jesus was crucified on.
It has to do with the unification of the lateral and the, this way type stuff. It's really quite a deep idea when you really read the books on it that Jesus wrote.
Okay, so you mentioned that you've been spending less time on the computer and more time reading. Have you been reading religious books?
Well, I came across this book. It was a lot of songs, religious songs that when you read them, you really get a sense of what's true in the inside of religion. And so I would like to read you one, actually. It's like a poem.
Okay, that's nice.
This one, yes, this one is called, it's called Ballstown.
The song is called Ballstown.
It's a very religious town. It goes like this: Great God, attend while science sings the joy that from thy presence springs. It's a rhyming poem. To spend one day with thee on earth. So it's talking about spending time with Jesus. To exceed 1,000 days of mirth, which is like a bad thing. I can tell from your eyes that you've kind of got glazed over and you're a bit bored. But
no, I'm not bored at all. I mean, I think it's a really...
that if you don't listen to this now, you're going to find yourself laying in the street after you were biking on the road, no helmet, and you've got... Do you know what I'm talking about? When you're in danger and your life is at the end of a line, and then you say, why didn't I listen to that song about Ballstown?
Okay, I want you to know that I'm just attentively listening, and if it means anything, I don't bike without a helmet on, nor do I bike at all.
Yes. No, you look like you don't bike. You look like you never go outside.
What? Well, that's a little insulting, don't you think? You look like you never go outside.
I'm just having to defend myself because of how you treat me.
What do you mean how I treat you? I invited you on the show tonight. I've sent you multiple emails.
You invite me, but you don't call me back. You don't text me. You tell me, oh, you love Jesus. That means I don't need a phone call from you. I don't know what to do. James, it's like every day I think maybe today I'm going to know whether it's true love or not.
Between you and I, or between you and Jesus?
Look, if I have to explain it, then you clearly don't understand.
Okay, so we've been going back and forth on this for some time now, right? That's fair to say.
There's been some back and forth, yes. It's like
right. Now, what if we were to make a deal tonight that we were try to really understand each other to the best of our abilities, right? There's no secrets, right? Isn't that nice? There's no secrets, and I just want you to know that I found your reading of Ballstown really, really cool.
That means a lot to me because sometimes when I recite poems, I find myself getting a bit emotional, and
Sure.
I do really appreciate getting that positive reinforcement.
Okay. Well, look, I'm glad. I'm glad we can understand each other better. I don't want you to think that I'm making a fool of you or that my eyes are glazed over. I can tell that you've really been immersing yourself in religiousness over the past little while. But I just want you to know I'm always appreciative of when you come onto the show. And I would be more than happy to entertain the idea of engaging on a one-on-one level more than we have in the past. How's that?
Yes, well, maybe we could start a blog together.
A blog? That's what you had in mind? You and I start a blog together?
If we have time, we can like, I write part of it and you
Right.
write, and then we say, it's from James and Jaudaurgh.
Right. Now, is that what you envision for you and I moving forward? Is that what you really, really want?
Well, I would like it to be, honestly, I would like it to be a video log.
Okay, so you and I do a vlog together.
Does that not seem very interesting to you? I can't tell.
No, it's just I've never done it before. And you were talking in such very emotional terms earlier that I guess I just wasn't expecting your proposal to be a video blog, right?
It does seem a little bit less interesting than.
Well, it's very businessy. It's very businessy, right?
Well, that's because in my mind, like writing a blog with someone is like sharing the mind, sharing your creative spirit.
Sure. Right.
But you're right. I think I was maybe avoiding the truth of it, and I don't know if I can even really grasp it now.
Right. Well, things are often very, very, very tense between you and I.
It's true. I think you remind me of my uncle. He's like kind of a weird little man too.
So when you look at me, you think this is a man that doesn't go outside too often. And he also reminds me of my uncle, who's also, quote, a weird little man. Now, how little do you think I am?
We talked about this. I still have the feeling that you're standing right now.
Yeah. You've mentioned that before, that you think that I'm standing at my desk and not sitting. So in terms of height, if you had to give a rough estimate of how tall you think I am in feet, how tall do you think I am, Jaudaurgh?
We've had this conversation. I think you're maybe 5'2".
You think that I'm 5'2" and I'm standing at a desk?
I think your arms are very long and your torso is very long, very long.
That is accurate.
So there's some truth to this.
So you think that I have maybe a 3-foot torso and then 2-foot legs?
Would that be so wrong?
Well, it is wrong. I'm about 5'10".
That's pretty much my height.
Oh, you're also, there we go. We have something in common, Jaudaurgh.
Are you smiling now? Did it make you?
You caught me. You caught me smiling. All this time I thought, me and Jaudaurgh, there's a lot of differences here, but there's something, look, there is something that connects us.
There's that one thing. Yes. Plus I have a very long torso. Very, very long torso.
How long is your torso?
Like 3/4 the length of my body. Now I say it like that, it doesn't make any sense, does it? It's
No,
because numbers in Sweden are different, so that's why I'm like 3/4
Yeah.
or something.
I think that's very charming.
Do.
Yes.
I like this word charming. It's like I don't know, something magical.
Yeah, it is magical, right? You might even say that you and I have captured magic tonight on some level.
It's a weird magic, but yes, it's magic.
Yeah. Maybe a strange magic, right? Do you know that song?
Strange. No.
Oh, it's No Balls Town.
That's an excellent song.
Yeah. Would you like, before we let you go, Jaudaurgh, would you like to sing it?
Well, I don't know it yet. I'm still learning it on the piano.
You play piano.
Well, those ones that you roll out and you kind of jump on it. It's a bit like an exercise.
Isn't that for children? But perhaps you're young at heart, and I think that's charming.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, Yoda, anything else tonight?
Well, no, that's all.
All right. Well, it was really nice talking to you again. When will we next speak?
Well, I'm hoping that you invite me for a Halloween party because I have a really good costume planned.
Oh, what's your costume?
What if I told you it wouldn't be worth it?
Well, I think it would still be worth it, but I understand you want it to be a surprise.
Yes, of course, it has to be something related to my new religious inclination. So
All right.
it's going to be something like
The Virgin Mary?
that's a good idea.
Oh.
I feel like it matches my persona kind of a lot.
Well, the Virgin Mary matches your persona.
Yeah, but maybe like after the conception when she's like really, really pregnant.
That's the part of Virgin Mary that you relate to, the really pregnant version?
Because she gets away with everything. She can be
All
rude
right.
and she can be very sweet.
Well, I'll tell you this, Yoda, despite sometimes our miscommunication, I do in fact think that you're a very sweet person.
Thanks. I know, and I'm working on it
Yeah.
to let people see that sweet part because I think we can live our lives and just be sour, sour, sour. But like I said, like people want me. They say, please, please, don't leave, don't leave. It's so sweet.
Yeah.
So not surprised that you think that because I hear it from at least 2 people. So now it's good.
And I'll tell you what, you deserve it. And I'll say this, if you happen to ever make your way to Montreal, I'd be happy to invite you to a Halloween party.
That's good.
Right?
It's a long flight.
Yep, it's true. I've taken that same flight before.
To Stockholm?
Well, I've been to Gothenburg.
Never been there. I don't know what it is. Never heard of it.
All right. Well, Yoda, thanks so much for being here tonight. And it's really nice reconnecting with you. And I'll send you a message or maybe a email. And I just want to say God bless you.
God bless you.
Thank you.
And a happy new year to you and your family.
A happy new year to you too.
It's good. Goodbye and good night.
Yeah, goodbye and good night to you too, Yoda.
Bye.
Well, always interesting when Yoda pops by. You couldn't see what was happening after we navigated away from that 2-shot. Yoda had a bit of difficulty negotiating her lamp in her room. Now it's just darkness. Look, there's something very testy about that woman, but something very intoxicating about her as well. Who knows? Who knows? Now, before we really kick it into high gear, I mentioned that I had a programming announcement. Last time I did this, I forgot to announce it. I got a message in our Instagram inbox, the account that sucks. It was Sid Rock. He said, hey, what was the announcement? I forgot to do it. First time ever, I made a false promise to the audience. And now here I am, ready to make one of the most shocking, potentially controversial programming announcements in show history. Of course, we do this show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9 p.m. to roughly 10 o'clock at night. Now, this Friday night, I make my long-awaited triumphant return to the stage live at 8 p.m. at Mainline Theater for Montreal Improv's Indie Night. I will be performing alongside my friend and friend of the show, Mark Rowland, just a couple smooth operators. This show is at 8 o'clock. Of course, making it impossible for me to make it from Montreal's famous plateau all the way back to the greatest neighborhood in Montreal, St. Henry. But I really wanted to make sure that I could honor the schedule because during the playoffs, I really dropped the ball. So what we will be doing this Friday is presenting the first ever dinner edition of At Home with James, starting at 6 o'clock p.m. to about 7 o'clock p.m. We want you to enjoy your dinner live in front of your screen. Dimitri Kirez is here, and so much more. It is the dinner time date with me, Lil Cutie. the original smooth operator, the cool breeze lover, the #1 lover, James Allen McGee. Let us move on to our next guest, the resident and imposed Halloween expert, Jess Fildes. Jess, welcome back to the program. Didn't take much to get you here tonight now, did it?
No, it didn't.
Be honest, you don't like being on this show, right?
That's not true.
But you don't love it.
That's not true either.
You
Show.
have declined more invitations than you've agreed to. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, but that's usually
Yeah.
like there's a reason usually.
Well, I'll tell you what, coming in from the chat right now, courtesy of Sid, he writes in all caps, Jess, ! Followed by Jay Voorhees, who I'm just dubbing best member of the chat in the September month. He writes, Jess told me she hated it.
I'm wearing him on my shirt.
Yeah, once again, we've got Sid Rock. We all saw you pause, Jess, meaning you paused when I asked that question, but it's fine. It's A-okay. It is A-okay. Now, Jess, true or false, you're a real Halloween fanatic.
True.
Okay, now, would you say that it is currently Halloween season?
Yes.
All right. Now, would you say that for the rest of society, it's currently Halloween season?
No.
Right. Halloween season, would you say for everyone starts on what date?
October 1st.
October 1st. We're currently on the 20th of September. It's going to be 29 degrees at some point this week. Not really Halloween weather, right?
No, not quite.
Okay, but in the interest of getting myself ready, I thought what we could do is something else that I previewed on our Instagram account, previewing spooky season. Now, this is something that appeals to you, right? You've already began watching your list of 34 horror movies.
Yes.
All right. Now, in getting this ready, I was talking to our production assistant, Devin, and he's also a Halloween fanatic. He
Nice.
said, I've got a bunch of Halloween activity proposals that I'd love to run by someone who loves Halloween as much as me. He said to me, James, I'd run them by you, but I know that you're not going to like them.
Okay.
So this is where you come in. He's got a bunch of proposed activities that friends and families and kids can all gather around and do during the Halloween season. And of course, I can't rate these because I wouldn't do them even if they were great. So it's going to be up to you. And of course, the members of our chat to decide as to whether or not they're really viable for the Halloween season.
Okay.
Again, more love for you from the chat, possibly depending on how you take this, courtesy of Thomas Barnwell. He writes, Jess is amazing, but takes up to 10 months to respond to texts.
Yeah, that was because I didn't have Instagram downloaded on my phone, and it doesn't send you Facebook messages through.
Okay, fair enough. Again, from Jay Voorhees, quote, she didn't even acknowledge it. She hates it in response to the show. You're getting more attention from the chat than anyone has ever received in the chat, and you've been on the air for about 2 minutes, right? The show's not so bad after all. There we go. No. Classic Poindexter laugh from Jess. Let's get to some of these activities. Devin's in the chat right now. He's saying, Devin here, can't wait for this. So let's begin with the first activity. Jess, are you ready for this?
Yeah. What am I rating them?
We're just gonna have a discourse after each activity. So we've got 3 activities. Okay. So let's begin. He writes, throw a glow-in-the-dark party. Okay. The description is as follows. Devin writes, going to a Halloween party is a must during the month of October, but why not get creative this year? The prerequisite for this Halloween shindig, as much glow-in-the-dark decor as possible. Think this: stars, balloons, glow sticks, skulls, spiders, pumpkins, and more. Turn out the lights, turn on the music, let the spooktacular evening begin, and allow the hands to wander where they wish. All right, so Jess, what do you think of this glow-in-the-dark party?
I think I was with Devin up until the part with the wandering hands.
Right. So you were interested in the music and the glow in the dark decor, the pumpkins and the spiders and the stars. The part that you don't like is turn out the lights, turn on the music, let the spooktacular evening begin, and allow the hands to wander where they wish.
Yeah, if it stopped at let the spectacular evening begin, I'd be happy with this evening.
Okay, so coming in from the chat, courtesy of Thomas Barnwell, he writes, disgusting. From Devin, he writes, he, which is fairly devilish. So you would go to this party, Jess, without the wandering hands.
Yes.
What if it was consensual? Because we don't know. I'm assuming it's consensual.
If everyone is there to like consent to that and everyone's agreed to it, sure.
You wouldn't go to this party. You wouldn't go to Devin's. You wouldn't go to Devin's glow in the dark Halloween party.
No, I would not.
All right. So you're saying the other parts of it are fun, but maybe workshop the wandering hands.
Yeah. Like just cut it out.
Okay. So cut out the wandering hands. Let's move on to his next activity. Oh God. This is called bobbing for wieners.
Okay.
And it goes as follows. Devin writes, open wide. It's time to get ready for my take on this classic Halloween party game. Gather around the cauldron of thickness and try to wrap your mouth around one of these witchy wieners. They all come in different shapes and sizes, long, short, and cocktail. We've got them all. Be careful not to choke. We're trying to have some spooktacular fun, not recreate a scene from 1972's Deep Throat. So this is bobbing for wieners, Jess. What do you think about this spooktacular activity?
I get the sense that Devin is very sexually charged.
Well, look, I mean, at the end of this, he writes, we're not trying to turn this into Deep Throat, which was an adult feature from the golden age of smut. What part about this kind of is alarming to you?
I guess just the emphasis on the phallus.
How so?
I mean, it's
be as descriptive as you want, right?
It's an event that's all about
wrapping your mouth around one of these witchy wieners.
Yes. Which, you know, that's fine if you're into that.
Okay, so again, coming in from the chat, Thomas Barnwell's got another review. For this one, he writes, that's disgusting, which differs from his original review for the glow in the dark party, which was just disgusting. Devin writes, wieners. Now, the part that I find mostly bizarre about this is the part where he writes, gather around the cauldron of thickness.
Yes.
Now, that part is a little vague. Is it molasses? Is it, as the Americans say, caramel? Who knows? Now, Jess, are you saying you don't want to gather around the cauldron of thickness?
No. I'm also vegan, so.
Right. All right. Yes. Yeah, so
I assume meat.
It was not really clear if this was going to be vegan friendly. Devin goes on to write in the chat, you're going to go nuts about how thick it is. Let's move on. Let's move to his third and final activity. He's only sent in 3, which maybe is for the best. This one is called Most Horrific Halloween Makeouts.
Okay.
Devin writes, everybody knows that Halloween is one of the scariest nights of the year, but it can also be one of the most mischievous. No. I'm not talking about egging someone's home, throwing toilet paper in trees, or beating someone up at a bar. I'm talking real mischief. What could be more mischievous than a creepy kiss crawl? Use my detailed map that will take you on, will take you to some of Montreal's most chilling locations. from the back alleys to burn units, all the way to a funeral, and finally to an anti-mask rally. Pull that mask off and pucker up. So this is a kiss crawl, a Halloween kiss crawl in the chat. Devin writes, hee 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 hee.
Is Devin a 13-year-old boy?
Here's the thing about Devin. He's our production assistant. He has never once put his camera on.
Okay.
He offered his services because he knows a thing or two about tech, and he's usually pretty good at helping with technical capabilities and technical requests that our directors have. I don't think that he's a teenager, but look, Halloween can bring out people's salacious side. So Jess, I guess the first question is, would you agree that Halloween has a tendency to be a salacious occasion?
Sure.
Okay. Is it off base to want to kiss on Halloween?
No.
Okay, so what is alarming about this kiss crawl for you?
I think it's the the wandering around Montreal to these specific places.
Right, which were as follows. Let's recap. It was a back alley, a burn unit, a funeral, and then finally an anti-mask rally.
Which seems like the last place you want to kiss someone at.
I guess it's scary, though. It's kind of scary, right?
I guess so.
Well, he writes in the chat, it's a crawl. You wander around different places at a crawl by definition. So it sounds like this might be something worth trying, but you're not really interested in the locations. A burn unit, for instance.
No.
So if you had to give Devin some notes, what do you think about this? Would it be different locations? What would it be?
I think it would, like, on this specific event.
Mm-hmm.
I guess maybe something to do not during a pandemic.
Right. Okay, so you think that he should cancel the what he calls Halloween's most horrific makeouts altogether?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, what if you were with someone that you were seeing?
And you're only kissing that person?
Sure, yeah. Kissing at a burn unit, a funeral. It sounds like it's a no for you, dog.
Yeah, I think it's a no.
All right. Okay. So Devin has assured me in our group conversation here on the production side of things that he'll be sending in some different Halloween activities throughout all of spooky season. He. I have never seen this side of Devin.
Okay.
But again, it sounds like Halloween is bringing out a different side of him.
I mean, it has the tendency to bring out different sides in many people.
Right? You know, it could be wandering hands, witchy wieners, so on and so forth. Now, Jess, is it fair to announce that I have come to an agreement with you in principle that you'll be visiting us a couple to a few times throughout the month of October for some of our Halloween programming? Because again, you know me quite well. I've never been particularly interested in Halloween. I don't hate it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not something that speaks to me, but I understand that people like it. So I want to bring some fun Halloween programming to the show. And I think you need to be a part of that. Are you saying that we've got a deal in place?
Yeah, we've got it.
All right. So for the 1 month of the year, you will pledge to enjoy being a guest on this show.
Yes.
All right. Well, perfect. Jess, before we let you go, any last words for Devin on your behalf?
Keep thinking of ideas, Devin.
All right. Look at that. He was typing and now he's sent it in. He said, I will, and I hope you're willing to listen to them. Then he has added an ellipses and writes, if you dare. He. I might have to mute Devin in our chat. Jess, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
That's Jess Fildes. Look at that. all it took to get someone to agree to be on this show was to talk about something that they like, a novel concept. Again, if you're just tuning in this Friday, for the first and maybe only time, depending on how the show goes, a 6 p.m. start time. Enjoy your dinner, whether it is fancy or TV. You can enjoy us from the comfort of your very own home on At Home with James Dinner Edition. Now, this is where we were going to call it a night. I was going to talk a little bit more about my indigestion, and I was going to drink some Pepto-Bismol live on the air. But I have just received note that we've got a surprise guest. I was not expecting this person, and frankly, I'm not quite sure what to say because he was just here last Friday. Please welcome back to the show. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because he insists that I read this. Legendary ice road trucker and glory hole enthusiast, Randy McWayne. Randy, welcome back, buddy.
Hey, James, what's going on, man?
Not too much, just doing the show. Long time no see. Of course, a bit of sarcasm there. We spoke on Friday.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Stained song?
Yeah. You like that?
Yeah. Do I like that song?
Yeah.
Not particularly. Are you a Stained fan?
I'm a Stained head. Yeah, I listen to it on XM radio on my truck when I'm driving around.
All right, so you were here last Friday, and you said that your truck was stuck in a puddle.
Yeah, still stuck in the puddle.
All right, but you got your Sirius XM radio, so that's fun. What stations are you listening to?
Oh, 80s on 8, 90s on 9, Howard Stern.
And whatever, of course, the collective works of Stained is on.
Yeah, that's on Classic.
It's on Classic Rock?
Classic Rock Radio, yeah.
All right. Well, look, I have to tell you, I'm a little surprised that you're here
Top
tonight,
10
Randy.
songs of all time.
Stained, It's Been a While is on the top 10 song list of all time.
Yeah. Just ask Tarzan Dan.
Tarzan Dan from YTV now is a VJ, or excuse me, a DJ on Sirius XM.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look, where would I be without this information? Now, again, I have to say that I'm a little surprised that you're here tonight, Randy, because you were just here on Friday, and you and I really didn't get off on the best of foots.
No, we didn't mesh well, James. You kept asking me all sorts of accusatory questions about my haul, and
your haul of vaccine fluid that you've been vaccinating people with the same syringe.
Yeah, and we didn't get into it. Wasn't a very pleasant interview, so I wanted to come back and maybe try it again.
Oh, so you want to redo the segment from the other night?
Well, not redo it because it didn't go well, but do it again, right, but well.
Okay, so you want a second chance.
Kind of like how Terminator 2 was better than Terminator.
Okay, so you think that this could be our version of Terminator 2 Judgment Day?
Yeah. Dun 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 dun.
Well, coming in from the chat right now, we've got from Sid #do-over. So this is what we're gonna do. So okay, let's start on the right foot. Randy, you're still stuck in a puddle. Tell us, how's your day been treating you?
It's been okay.
What have you been up to?
Been sitting here listening to the radio.
Right, you've been listening to Sirius XM.
Yeah, I heard this song I liked earlier. You ever hear that song by Stained?
The one that you referenced already?
Yeah.
It's been a while, yeah. So you were listening? Yeah, you were listening to Stained.
Yeah, I referenced it not that long ago.
Yeah, I just said that.
It hasn't been a while.
Okay, so you were listening to the radio in your truck. What else?
Oh, my truck's stuck, so not much.
Well, okay, well, looks like you shaved. You did some shaving recently?
No.
Wait, this thing grows back in no time.
Yeah. Some people get a 5 o'clock shadow. I get a 5-second shadow.
You get a 5-second shadow. All right.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So take us. What does the week have in store for you, Randy?
Well, I'm waiting for the results of this election.
Right. You were here this past Friday. You were really interested in the election, right? So how are things looking? Do you have any insight on that?
Nope.
I have to tell you, I'm embarrassed too, because up until this moment, I had forgotten about the election.
Yeah. We're voting in a new minister.
Well, maybe new.
Maybe.
Yeah, right. Because Justin Trudeau, he could still win and retain his position.
Or Stephen Harper could come back.
Well, I don't think he's on the ballot.
Well, you never know.
Well, I think I do know. I don't think he's just going to suddenly reappear as the Prime Minister of Canada tonight in a twist ending.
Might.
Well, he won't. It's not possible.
Why not?
What do you mean, why not? Because he's not the leader of the Conservative Party.
Not yet.
Well, but it's not going to happen tonight.
Could.
But it won't.
Maybe.
Who did you vote for?
Harper.
Okay, so you had like kind of like a one of the, you just filled it in on the bottom. You voted for Stephen Harper for Prime Minister of Canada.
Yeah, maybe a bunch of people did that.
So you think enough people in the section where you could add your own candidate, there's going to be an overwhelming results that come in for Stephen Harper to reemerge as the Prime Minister of Canada?
You know what that's called?
What's that?
A do-over.
A do-over, right? So not only would Stephen Harper have a do-over in office, it goes hand in hand with our do-over tonight. So what are you drinking tonight, Randy?
I'm drinking a Aha.
Oh,
Top 10 song.
so wait, Aha's Take on Me was also on the top 10 list?
Yeah.
What else was on it?
There was, Stained.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, there was Aha, Take on Me.
Mm-hmm.
And there was, some Beatles.
So a few Beatles songs?
Maxwell's Silver Hammer.
Yeah.
You know, the classic
Of all
Beatles.
the Beatles songs.
Yeah, classic
All
Beatles.
the Beatles songs.
Yeah.
What else?
I didn't finish listening to the list.
Oh, so sounds like you only got from about 10 through 4.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what else
But
is
then
on
I
the
turned
docket?
it on later for the repeat. Do-over.
The do-over, I understand. Yeah.
I
Now,
only caught the same songs.
what else is on tap for you this week, Randy?
Oh, well, hopefully, if once this election wraps up, they're going to make a decision as to whether or not climate change will continue. So I'm hoping to get that truck pulled out of this puddle if things freeze over again.
Right. So you think that the government has say in when the puddle's going to freeze?
Yeah. And they're not doing a very good job, James.
Right. So that's why you voted for Stephen Harper.
Yeah. The world's #1 environmentalist.
All right. So what are some
Stephen
of your
Harper.
What's some of your favorite things about Stephen Harper?
I like his smirk,
Okay.
haircut, plays guitar.
He plays piano too.
Yeah.
Now, did you ever see that footage of him singing "Sweet Child of Mine" at a Conservative Party Christmas event?
I was there.
Wait, hold on. You were at Stephen Harper's Christmas party for the
Yeah, I was
Conservative
at the
Party?
Stephen Harper Christmas special.
Okay, so you saw him do "Sweet Child of Mine" live. What
A
did
lot
you
of
think about
celebrity
it?
guests.
Who else was there?
Well, you know, all the famous celebrity conservatives.
Such as?
Let's see.
I mean, I suppose they're Canadian.
Yeah, the Canadian who Rex Murphy
Mm-hmm.
was there.
Yep.
James Woods.
James Woods, the American.
Yeah, Kevin Sorbo.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Christy Alley.
Christy Alley or Kirstie Alley?
This is the Canadian version. It's Christy.
Oh, okay, I understand, yeah.
She was on the famous Canadian show Chairs.
Who else was there?
Oh, we gotta list more people?
Yeah, I'm curious.
All right. Rob Schneider.
Yeah. Well, it's so interesting that so many Americans are lending their support to the Conservative Party.
Well, yeah. They're all dual citizens.
Can I ask you how you got an invitation?
I was delivering bottled water to the event.
Right. So
They only drink bottled water.
Yeah. So you've been known to deliver water that you then bottle yourself.
Yeah.
So you delivered bottled water to this Conservative Party Christmas party. Well, take us through what happened. That sounds like a pretty fun night. It's not often you get to interview someone who rubbed shoulders with some political greats.
Yeah. Well, I was interviewed by This Hour Is 22 Minutes. They tried to make fun of me.
Yeah.
It was kind of
like
CBC.
Probably like try to do like a hit piece on people that are conservatives.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a conservative.
I'm sorry? You just say you're not a conservative?
I'm not a conservative.
But you voted for Stephen Harper.
Yeah, in this election.
Well, who did you previously vote for? What political party would you say that you've most aligned to over the years?
Oh, it wavers. I'm an undecided.
Okay. Well, that's fair, right?
I voted for Jack Layton.
Yeah.
I voted for Kim Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
Pierre Elliott Trudeau.
Yeah. How old are you?
Brian Mulroney. John A. McDonald.
Wait, hold on now. Randy.
Yeah.
How old are you? Come on, man.
What are you? Joe Biden?
Am I Joe Biden? Well, no, but I think you might be as old as him if you're voting for John A. McDonald.
In the truck, time passes different than...
Randy, just tell me how old you are.
Truck time or human time?
Truck time?
I'm 30 in truck years.
Well, what's 30 in truck years, and how does that convert to regular age?
Truck years, every one truck year is 7 human years.
Okay. So 7 times 30.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to have to get someone in our production chat to give me the information on what that equals out to.
I'll wait.
So, in truck years, you're 30. In truck years, you're 30, but in human years, that equals out to 200.
Oh, I lost my beard again.
210
That's why I get 5 minutes shadow.
You're 200.
Because I'm aging so fast.
Randy, you're not 210 years old. Come on, man.
I don't know what to say.
What year were you born? It's 2021 now.
Uh-huh.
What year were you born?
1810.
Now, Randy, this is going to send some real shockwaves through our viewership.
I used to drive a horse.
Right, yeah. How old are you in horse years?
Horse years?
Yeah.
I'm 50 in horse years.
How many years is that in horse years, though?
What?
Okay, so
sorry,
basically,
I saw something funny.
Truck years for every every 1 year, it's basically 7
An eagle
truck
ate a
years.
Squirrel.
Wait, you saw an eagle eat a squirrel
Yeah, it was
and you
funny.
got distracted? But hold on. Each year in truck years is 7. If you're 50 in horse years, how many years is that per 1 year?
4.1.
So in horse years, you're 205 years old.
Well, the conversion, I didn't want to do the decimals.
Yeah.
Didn't want to confuse you.
So you're 30 years old in regular years.
No.
No, excuse me. You're 30 years old in truck years,
Yeah.
which equals up to 210. But you're 50 years old in horse years.
Yeah. And you might be asking, that's still not old enough to vote for John A. McDonald.
Yeah. How do you explain that?
I wrote him in on a ballot.
Oh, right. So you voted for him retroactively after he had long since died.
Yeah. I'm not that old.
All right. Well, look, Randy, we're just about out of time.
Aw.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Would you like to come back?
Yeah. I like this one more.
All right. Well, do you want to come back on Friday for our dinner episode?
I might have plans on Friday.
What are you going to do on Friday?
It's my truck's birthday.
How old's your truck?
In what system?
Truck years.
4.
Okay, so not that old.
Not that old.
All right. Well, Randy, wish your truck a happy birthday for me.
Okay, you can't say it too soon because that's bad luck.
Or it's bad. Yeah, you wouldn't want anything more bad happening in your truck. It's already caught in a puddle, right?
Yeah.
Well, Randy, I'm really happy about how this do-over went. Are you happy?
Yeah. Thank you, James.
All right. Well,
Hey, it's been a pleasure being on the show.
Well, the pleasure's all mine, and I hope on some level you're at least somewhat pleased with the results. I don't think Stephen Harper is going to walk away with the win tonight.
Well, we'll see.
Well, they are saying it might take up to a couple days to determine the results.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, keep your fingers crossed.
My fingers?
Well, my fingers. I misspoke. Keep your fingers crossed for Stephen Harper.
Sounded silly.
Well, look, sometimes I'm a silly guy.
Yeah, well, cut that shit out.
Well, I'm sorry, Randy. This was going really well until you had to do that.
Well, you botched the ending.
Well, I didn't botch the end. It's not the ending of the show.
Well,
I said keep your fingers crossed, but I accidentally said fingles. It's not the ending.
All right.
Well, Randy, thanks so much for being here. The pleasure was all mine.
You're welcome.
Well, that was Randy McWayne. I was not anticipating an appearance from Randy tonight. But there you have it. I also want to thank Jess Fildes and Jaudaurgh for being here. That's it. We've done it. We have achieved episode 291 as we inch closer and closer to the 300th episode of At Home with James. I want to thank everyone for watching and being so lively in the chat. I appreciate it. If you know people that aren't watching, let them know where to find us. Twitch.tv/AtHomeWithJames. Tell your mom, dad, auntie, uncle, brother, sister, maybe your Grammy and your Grampy, your best friend, your neighbor, even your worst enemy, because this show might be the deciding factor that brings you and your enemy closer together. Until then, have yourself a good night. I am James. You are you. We were here. Good night, goodbye, farewell, and of course, be well.